Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. I originally had not planned on doing another video on Daniel chapter number 4, at least at this time, but I had so many interesting comments on my previous videos, and one in particular that I want to respond to. This YouTuber said that he believed that the Watcher and the Holy One who come down from heaven are two different individuals. And I believe he is correct. But the question is now, who are these two individuals? Now we know in the end times that two do come down from heaven. And those are the prophets Enoch and Elijah. Now could this be who Daniel is writing about? I believe these are the two prophets, the two witnesses, who Daniel is writing about. And the reason this is important is because it proves once again that Daniel chapter number 4 is a prophecy of the end times. Daniel chapter 4, verse 13, I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said, Thus hew down the tree, cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Notice this he means that one of these describes the cutting down of the tree. Now I believe this first Holy One who comes down from heaven is the prophet Elijah. And what he is prophesying here is World War III, because that is what the cutting down of the great tree symbolizes. And next we see the prophet Enoch, because he is talking about the 7 years of tribulation in the following verses. Daniel 4, verse 15. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, bound with a band of iron and of brass, in the tender grass of the field. Let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. Notice this watcher made reference to 7 times. This refers to the 7 years of tribulation. Now why do I believe that this watcher is the prophet Enoch, and the previous Holy One was Elijah? That's because Enoch, in several other places in the Bible, also warns people during the tribulation about the timing of the events. Let's look at where he is found in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 10, verse 5. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven. Now this mighty angel standing on the sea and the earth is a very good indication of Enoch, because Enoch's mission will be to the Gentiles in the far-off nations. Verse number 6. And swore by him that lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be no more delay. Now in this passage from Revelation, Enoch the watcher is described as a mighty angel. Notice he talks about the timing of events. He says there will be no more delay. Let's look and see where Enoch is found in Daniel chapter number 12. Verse 7, And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river. Again, a good indication of Enoch, because his mission is to the far-off Gentiles. When he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swore by him that lives forever that it shall be for a time, times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Now notice here in Daniel chapter number 12, Enoch says almost the same thing he says back in Revelation. He talks about there being a time, times, and half a time, and he swears to heaven that his words are true. Now the holy people, who he is talking about, who are scattered, refer to the remnant Catholics. They will be protected in the desert by Mary. Remember, the raptured Protestants have already been taken up to heaven. Daniel 8, verse 13. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spoke, How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? And he said unto me, unto 2,300 evenings and mornings. Then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. Now here in Daniel 8, the two prophets, Enoch and Elijah, are referred to as saints. We have already seen them referred to as men, angels, holy ones, and watchers. But they are all the same two witnesses, the prophets, who will be sent by God to earth during the first half of the Great Tribulation. Now the saint in this passage who was asking the question about how long it will be is the prophet Elijah. And again, it is the prophet Enoch who gives the answer. Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches, and keeps his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. Now there are 4 blesseds in the end-time chapters of the book of Revelation. They refer to the raptured Protestants, protected Catholics, holy martyrs, and converted Jews. Those who watch in this particular passage are the remnant Catholics. They will be scattered throughout the world. Enoch's mission is to these and also to all of the Gentiles. And we need to remember that during the first half of the tribulation, the only true prophecy available to anyone will be from Enoch and Elijah, because the Catholic Church and the governments of the world will all be taken over. The Catholic Church and all Christianity by the false prophet, and the one world government will be a one world communist tyranny. There will be no freedom of speech. All of my videos, for example, will be removed from YouTube. So in conclusion, we see that the Holy One who comes down from heaven is the prophet Elijah, and the watcher who comes down from heaven is the prophet Enoch. And now that we know the identities of these two individuals, this is one more indication that Daniel chapter number 4 is an end times prophecy. And if you would like more information or a free copy of my book Revelation Unraveled, simply write to the address you see on your screen.